small-scale miners are back to post in some parts of the central region, 9 months after government imposed a nationwide injunction on all forms of small-scale mining across the country. And the question I ask, is it that the Joint Military Police Task Force and Media Coalition have failed? And if so, how differently do you think we should tackle the Galamsey menace?
The government should really reduce the fines, so the government will fine them. Anyone who is caught will be fined an amount of money to be paid, no jail. So anytime you are caught, you are being forced to pay the fine. So the fine must be forced. It must be enforced, so that anyone who is caught is being forced to pay the fine.
I don't believe we are totally out of options, but putting a fine, for the Galamsey, I wouldn't say to solve anything, because we've tried it. Actually, it has been initiated back like some years ago. So I believe maybe we should combine the fine and then also send people to the field. They should be regular, they should be there at all times.
A capacity building for those Galamsey people to enable them acquire some skills. It's like when you visited the area, they don't have work to do. Absolutely, they don't have any work. So a child of 9, 10 upward, that is the work they know.
I think the government should jail them, because if the government find them, you won't benefit from them, because they'll still do it. But they can pay the amounts of money, so I better think they should just jail them, either 20 years or 30 years, so that they'll just learn something from it.
All right, so those are some comments from the streets. Let's check out your comments.
On Facebook. Mary J. Santua says, this is something we should fight against to preserve our land for generations to come. They're thinking of themselves today out of their ignorance. King Naro the King says, when politicians haven't stopped misusing the taxpayers' money, building machines, buying themselves big cars and living like them no go die, these generations will continue to find their way to stash money, whether good or bad. Okay. Walanyo says, my friend, let's face the fact once and for all. People in mining areas are suffering miserably. What are the measures government is putting in place so that legitimate license holders can mine? When you come to Akwetia and its environs, for instance, because mining activities is what they do for a living, taking care of their families and so on, life becomes unbearable. We appeal to the government to hasten the bad conditions of our people in mining areas. In fact, life is not easy at all in Akwetia. NPP government must be careful. I'm very pathetic about the lifestyle of my people. Kobenya says it was a joke to have accepted that the menace was eradicated. It was rather a reduction. It must be done. It must be done devoid of politics. Amofarik says the government should put measures in place for them to operate so that they wouldn't destroy the land thoroughly.
And Fusu Christopher says, I've witnessed the operation myself last month, guided by armed military men in the central region. Peter Hagan says, throw them into jail and let it serve as a warning to the rest. We can't continue to destroy our water bodies. And that's a good one there. So many interesting comments on Facebook. Also, controversial dancehall artist Shatta Wale is calling on the President, Akufo-Addo, to ensure his safety as he explains his life has been threatened by a pastor who claims he will die before the end of the year. He's also calling on religious leaders to rise up against fake pastors and prophets in the country. Now, popular dancehall artist Ebony Rains died in a gruesome accident last week after a similar prophecy. There are those who feel such prophets engage in this act for fame. Question, what do you make of such prophecies?
Some of them though, because sometimes it baffles me that if God wants to speak to us or speak to his people, always is through death that he will tell us. And most of them, all these pastors, they always say this person is going to die, this person is going to die, and this person. But you never hear them saying something like bringing good fortune or good news that this person is going to get rich or Ghana is going to develop or there is going to be this in this year.
To me, yes.
Why do you say so?
Because it's becoming, they are becoming unbecoming. Because the way they want, they want to do it for money. Yes, for money and popularity, as we just said. Yes, that's what I see.
Really, I think they are not all speaking from what the purpose of the old days are talking about. I think it is all in the name of wealth. They are trying to gain popularity, all in the name of making money. When miracles are coming, that is where you see the public, the masses attention are drawn to their churches.
Check out your comments on Facebook.
Salisu Ibn Hussein says, I can beat my chest and testify openly without any fear of or shame that Christianity is nothing but a business entity. And there are 13 replies there. I can imagine there's a bit of a storm.
Let's check out the replies.
And banter going on. All right, so Dago says, but Islam is true. Don't your Malams do same? Grow up, okay? Religion. Please, brother, your comment is you're taking it all right. No comment. Hey, people bore. You are right, but bro, don't be too religious next time. Otherwise, you will give people a chance to insult yours. Okay, and it goes on and right. So Ejeni Mbwantin says, Shatta, go to police and report if you feel your life has been threatened. Those prophets of our generation are not ordinary Old Testament prophets. So they are magical prophets who will do anything possible to see their prophecy come to pass, even if it requires them to kill you with their juju through motor accident. And Calculus says, you have a point. And okay, Francis Tutu says, why do you fear death whilst you're propagating the seed of light for death couldn't defeat light? And so if there is fear, then be careful of the fruit you are bearing. Ezekiel 18:4. Okay. And Mabelator says, we mostly hear of some of the prophets only when a tragedy happens, and there you hear them say saying they prophesied it. We want to hear prophecies of good omen. And Yaya says, I think Shatta is right. I'm very sure some of these charlatans will do everything just to prove how powerful they are.
And Nana Kwabina Safo says, so what should the what Patriarch do to the pastor? If someone threatens your life with death, who do you have to report to? And Oguns GH says, why is it that they don't prophesize on the increment of prices of goods and services like price of fuel, tomatoes, onions, clothes, rather on human beings? So Shatta is right if he's condemning some pastors and prophets. So to me, a big yes. And Don Self says, a question should have been, do we think Shatta is misbehaving too much? Okay, so you can ask that question. Eja says, our prophets must prophesy that by the end of the year, Ghana will strike the largest oil find in the world. Okay, we're hoping to hear that. And Don Rakti says, always people will die, but people won't get money. And his lordship Lawson also says, that's not my concern. Mine now is to build a better Ghana. And Kia Kuti says, some of these so-called prophets want to take advantage of what's currently happening. How can God be manifesting people who will die to you? Are these pastors angels of death? So pathetic. They're making Christianity a funny thing. And those are some of your comments on Facebook. And finally, it's Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's to you. It's a day of showing love in whichever way, ranging from buying expensive gifts to spending quality time with that special person in your life. One thing we must not forget on this day is a reflection of how to keep the love burning at all times. So tell me, how do we keep the love alive in a relationship? Tell me what's on your mind.
I think that be honest to one another and be kind to one another in a relationship.
I think when there is love between two partners, that means there is trust. So if I have a trust for my partner, then it means I love my partner. So if you can want to keep love between a relationship or in a relationship, I think you have to trust each other. Not personally, or not only in a relationship, but family-wise, or maybe a friend, a brother, a cousin, we can keep that relationship called love if we trust each other.
It's by understanding each other, like being tolerant in the relationship, and also coming into agreements. Let's say the man wants this to be done this way, but the woman does not agree to it, but they can come to an agreement, they can talk to each other so that they can have an understandable way of doing that particular thing.
Being honest and keeping to your words.
What kind of? I don't get it.
Example, you being in a relationship with someone, making the person know about your love for her or him, then I think you just have to live an honest life just to please him or her, and then be truthful. That's all. This modern Ghana, I think I would say money will be part, but money does not mean love. At least when we talk about true love, money does not count.
Out your comments on Facebook. A lot of them I've seen. Israel.
Yeah, Mbeblebeto says we can only keep the love alive if we make love lead in all circumstances in the relationship. Well, Anya says, please, I'm at home. I don't see anything good in Valentine. Just waste of resources. That's all. Benjamin says, I think when there is understanding, love will forever be unbreakable. Okay. And Mufarik says, women need money and nothing else. Just give her money. Yeah, give her money.
More money.
Prince Nuding says, mutual understanding must be key. Baba Stranger says, never knew today is vow. And Martin Kofi says, happy Father's Day to my dearest Kate Mensah. Okay.
All right, so those are some comments on Facebook. Looks like the love atmosphere is catching up with everyone.